everyone. It is my great pleasure to welcome all of the faculty members, guest faculty, and my dear friends to today's Expert Class program. Generative AI is not just a tool that answers questions. It is a partner that expands human creativity.
This is Vasudevan Kidambi at the Emosi Desk, welcoming you all for this wonderful event.
Now, I would like to invite Priya Vashni to deliver the welcome address.
Good morning to everyone. It gives me a great honor and contentment to welcome you all for today's expert talk. With a great respect to warmly welcome our chief guest, Vasudevan Kidambi sir, distinguished alumni, and his books includes C3 Corporate Currentums and Conclusion, From Lines to Loops, the ECG Mindset, The Art of Problem Finding, The Prompting Playbook, One Page Communicator. Sir, your valuable presentation today adds significance to this session and gives us excitement to know about Gen AI as your career multiplier. We welcome you, sir. It is a great pleasure to warmly welcome our convener of this session, our respected professor, Dr. K. Malanpati ma'am, Director in charge of BSMED. Ma'am, your presence today inspires us towards excellence. We welcome you, ma'am. I respectfully welcome the coordinator of this session, our faculty, Dr. G. Barney ma'am, Associate Professor of BSMED in absence, along with our BSMED beloved faculty, Dr. G. Sridharan sir, Associate Professor, and our guest faculty, Dr. Rizita ma'am, who had joined this session. And a great welcome to all enthusiastic students. Let us dive into this session to learn, share, and grow again. Once again, a heartfelt welcome to all. Thank you.
Now, I request Dr. K. Malanpati ma'am, Professor and Director in charge of BSMED, to present the memento to our chief guest.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Mr. Vasudevan Kidambi is a business transformation strategist and generative AI coach with 33 years of professional experience across the Middle East and African regions. He is the author of 10 books, including 3 books on generative AI. One of his latest works introduces the concept of a synthetic worker, which explains a new workforce model where AI works alongside human employees in organizations. He is also a CPD, UK accredited generative AI, and a certified independent director with strong expertise in a corporate governance and ESG, that means environmental, social, and governance. Mr. Vasudevan has presented 5 research papers in areas related to generative AI and ESG, and is currently pursuing a doctorate in ESG. In his advisory work, he is well known for his ability to identify hidden business problems and transform organizations to improve profitability. His recent research paper on bringing circularity in the generational divide received the Best Research Paper Award. With this, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a warm welcome to Mr. Vasudevan Kidambi. I kindly invite you to speak.
Stage is yours.
Good morning to all of you. First of all, it's online now. So thank you very much. This is my alma mater. This is my home. It's a homecoming for me. I lived in the same premises, the hostel for 2 years. 2 years hostel, பாதி நேரம் இங்கே தான் இந்த ரூம் பக்கத்து ரூம்ல அந்த ரூம் இந்த 3 ரூம் தான். So that's a very nostalgic feeling for me here. Okay. That is surprise to me. Welcome to India.
Thank you.
And to Tamil Nadu and Coimbatore.
Thank you.
But you will have one small disadvantage. There are 2 video clips which are Tamil video clips. So that alone somebody will explain it to you, right? Okay. So I'll make life much easier. For important information for all of you, you will all love me after this. Question came, and I will not ask you to answer the question. You like that, or you want to answer the question? You want to answer the question, or you want me to answer the question also? We will see, right? There will be at least some people, brave people, who will attempt to answer the questions. But otherwise, it will be very live and light. That's something that I want to share with you. Can you switch on this light? Hello? Okay, so 3 வருஷம் ஆச்சு சார், நீங்க எங்க வந்து ChatGPT சொல்லி கொடுத்து போறீங்களா? நாங்கெல்லாம் ஏற்கனவே மேல ஏறிட்டோம், நாங்க ChatGPT கிடைக்குதானே, right? But I still feel that we need to learn certain fundamentals, right? And that's what my focus will be. That's why I say it's a career multiplier. If you can just say I am a pro in using Gen AI tools, it's a great CV value. But you must then, not saying alone is not enough, you have to stand up to, if you can say that I am a responsible user of Gen AI, I am an ethical user of Gen AI, then you have a much better value. Because today everybody knows what ChatGPT is. But are you responsible or are you ethical user? It will make a huge difference, right? So I will share some of those knowledge as well. Sir, Sridharan sir, with the upgrade, 3 years, I think,
for this generation,
yeah.
generation A. For the generation.
Sir, on the previous session, so it's the next level of this. So that's what I keep moving content every month or couple of months time, right? So for me, every time it is new, right? Changing now. So quickly, that's about me. I'm in Dubai, based in Dubai. But Dubai nale ipo eppadi vandinga or kelvi irukuma. Missile alla idu eduthu varala, drone alla eduthu varala nanu. So I just managed to come after staying there for 1 week's time frame. With every day some 120, 150 drones and missiles over the head. So I said, எல்லாமே under control தான், ஏன்னா control வேலை நடக்குது, நாங்க இப்ப controlக்கு கீழ இருக்கோம், right? So I am under control அப்படின்னு. But yeah, so spent 33 years in that region, Middle East, Africa and CIS countries. Last year, my extent of use of ChatGPT told me that I belong to the top 1% of the ChatGPT users in the world. So the total number of ChatGPT users in the world is 850 million users. So I belong to 1%. Although the ChatGPT total, I have used it left, right, and center, right? So that's what it means. Yeah, the rest are all there. These are my 10 books that I had published so far. 3 of them are in Gen AI, space. Those books are all there. Almost all of them are there for you to grab. All my books are extremely easy to read. It's not like your novels, 340 pages of font size of 6 in that. So please feel free to read them. They are all pretty useful. So these are all my institutions and universities and corporate where I have done the Gen AI master class. If you forget me, forget the session, anything, don't forget this, right? Stay curious, keep learning. If including faculty, keep learning, you come to all the sessions, they tell you keep learning. Every keep learning, then I'm always curious about how can we do that? Unless otherwise you stay curious, learning will never happen. Otherwise, learning will happen like a very tough task. The moment you put your curiosity on any subject, that learning on that subject becomes extremely easier. So I completed the sentence of keep learning by prefixing that with stay curious. Curiosity is a premium skill. Again, back to your CV, if you can write that I am a curious person, say it boldly. You must be curious, right? People will ask you, tell me why you are saying you are curious. Then you are interviewing. Your interview is in your space, right? How to bring the interview to your space? By plugging in some sentences. I am a curious person. Automatically, the other side will ask you, tell me how you are a curious person. Then you can give your stories and so on. Staying curious is an extremely important, and that is how I became a Gen AI proficient person. I was simply curious about what is this ChatGPT that they are saying, right? So for the benefit of the international students, I will try to be as much in English. I will have less of Tamil, so we have to take care of them also, right? So that's my first question. I have plugged in a lot of question and answers, right? I will try to ask you people, right? Who wants to take a call on this? Is AI and Gen AI one and the same? If you answer panninga, I can move faster. In 1 hour will become 1.5 hours, right? Is it yes or no? How many of you say that it is AI and Gen AI are the same? Or are they different? Or I don't know? Huh? Don't know? Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. So AI and Gen AI, the world has been confusing about this AI and Gen AI. They simply use it the way they want. It is not. And all of you here will have to understand and use AI where it should be used and use Gen AI where it should be used. I make the life much easier on that. So, first and foremost thing, Gartner has told Gen AI is a part of the overall AI. This tells us that they are not one and the same, correct? Step number 1 from a clarity point of view. Anything, if I will have to explain AI and Gen AI, okay, by the way, I forgot to say one more thing. Take notes less, because I have a complete PDF file which I will transfer it to Maganati ma'am and I have only those numbers. So I will transfer it to you, then you can actually share it with everybody. Most of the important slides, I have already, I'll be sending it to them at the end of the session, right? So still, if you want to write your own way, you can write. But you are not going to lose anything just because you are not writing it. Right? So AI and Gen AI, one is called automation, second is called augmentation. Automation means all this robotic process automation, your automobile manufacturing where you have all the the humanoids working and so they are all called automation. Your ATM machine is a kind of automation, right? Whether you are there or whether somebody is there, only in India you have a security guard next to that. Machine is taking better, right? So in our places we don't have that. These machines are all there, right? So one is an automation, second is an augmentation. Augmentation, you understand? Augmentation is nothing but human capability, improvement to the human capability. It augments your thinking. Automation doesn't need human being. It will remove the human being, right? Wherever there is automation, job loss will happen. Wherever there is augmentation, there is no end. That's why I was very attracted, because I don't know, it augmented my knowledge, I moved up. Right now I am here. Next time it is augmenting, not from here, from here. I move up, I move up. I am moving up continuously 365 days. That is augmentation. Fantastic, right? So that is about augmentation. So Gen AI means augmentation, AI means automation. Clear? Is that clear? I'll make it much easier for you. Anything that is working for you is automation. Anything that is working with you is augmentation. Make it much more clearer. If you sit and keep your ChatGPT laptop open in the next chair, both of you sit for 8 hours, anything will happen? Anything will happen? Nothing. Because you have to interact with ChatGPT, right? Until then, you will be sitting, laptop will be there, nothing will happen. So you are integral part of Gen AI. So now I have given you enough and more reasons of not to confuse between AI and Gen AI, right? Now, when I kept saying all these things, last year, suddenly they started coming up with new thing called agentic AI. All of you have heard of agentic AI? AI agent, yeah. It's now, give a good shake or raise your hands, right? Have you heard of agentic AI? No? Anybody who has not heard of agentic AI? In few minutes time frame, I will also give you some stocks also, right? And then I will also come with proper medicine after that. All will happen in the 1 hour's time frame, right? Okay, agentic AI is something that is working on your behalf. Again, you are partner. Anybody who has heard of agentic AI, raise your hands, please. I need the hands really to be seen. Who has heard of AI agent, agentic AI? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, fair enough. No worries. After this, augmenting, right? All of us will move collectively to the next level. That's all. Simple, right? So then when you actually go to agentic AI, one more confusion comes. In automation, in AI is also called automation. Agentic AI also talks about automation. Don't get confused between the two, right? And I will make that clarity. One is rule-based is AI, robotic process, they all work on rule-based automation. Whereas in agentic AI, it is goal-based automation. I will not labor much on this because most of you have less knowledge on agentic AI, but just to understand, anything, if we say automation and if you say another automation, here only curiosity applies. Now all you guys, my one sincere request, the moment you have a confusion, 20 years before we have to get it clarified by going to a library. Today you have everything in your finger. Ask ChatGPT, is the automation same there and here? It will tell you the answer instantly. All you need to take that one small effort driven by curiosity. If you just leave it as such, you will actually be growing in age with average knowledge. Average knowledge has no place in the world. You must have precise knowledge. And only one button is required, switch on the button of curiosity. That's all. So when I said this is also automation, how will I explain to my people? ChatGPT, right? Then they said one is a rule-based, the other one is a goal-based. How do I understand this goal-based? So if you have a driver at home, right? You send the driver in the morning saying that, okay, go to the railway station, pick up my guest, drop them to the hotel, and on the way you go to the bank also, and then do this deposit or withdrawal, and then go to my association, cultural association, do something else and come back. So the driver is looking, he's going and picking up. Then he says, this road seems to be with too much of traffic. Let me go to the culture first, and then I will go to the bank next. By the time he comes back at 4 o'clock in the evening, he said, I've done all the job. But what was told to him? First railway station, then go to the bank, then go to the culture association. He made a decision in between, right? It is a goal-based. In agentic AI, that is the difference between the two. Clear? Clear, right? I feel that it is understandable. Go back, curiosity. And that is why I am giving each and every slide to each one of you. So you can actually, if you don't understand, take the slide, copy, paste the slide into your ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT, what is this guy telling? You will get your answers. Simple, right? So not doing is called laziness, and nobody can help that laziness, right? Okay? If you are attentive, you will be able to answer this question. Will AI take away human jobs? No. How many of you raise your hands? Real strong raising of hands. AI will. You are raising for what? Yes or no? AI will not take human jobs, right? Okay. And I take pleasure in confusing people. That's why I'll ask you one more question, right? Will Gen AI take away human jobs? Confusion, right? You said AI will not take human jobs, right?
It will take because it's automatic.
Okay, yeah, okay. Intentionally, I confuse people, right? Confusion will create alertness. If somebody is trying to sleep, this will actually make you little more awake. See, AI will take away human jobs. I told you just now, it will automate the process. Once your process is automated, you have no role to play. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, right, is it not? So there should be a security guard to open the gate every time. But now you have an automation, right? You don't need anybody there, right? As soon as you go, it opens up automatically, right? Because your number plate is recognized or you have a small device and all that stuff, right? AI will take away human jobs. Gen AI will not take away human jobs. So be very clear about that. Again, confusion, right? So we have seen Gen AI is taking away human jobs, right? So there is a clarity required here. Audio work on Mark? How is audio going to work? Okay. Pause. You have to help me connect the audio. You have a jack or something? If only I keep talking, it might be sometimes boring, right? So I take the help of Bollywood, Tollywood, right? And sometimes some international known faces whom we cannot forget. So all of them I take their help also. So they also will be coming every now and then. Audio jack. But how will you have to connect it to my PC? It's one one. Not this week.
which is what are all the things that AI can do, what can it do? It turns out that as we speak, AI has no possibility of doing all of what we do. However, depending on the job that we do, sometimes it could do 20% of our jobs, 20% of our work, 1,000 times better.
Morning, sir. Morning ET, page number 11, Economic Times says. Next gen technologies is going to invest around 3,600 crore in sovereign AI factory. Data centers are different from AI factory. It's a large computing facility and for training and for the development of the system. Could you please kindly explain to the students, is this AI factory will be the threat for their job opportunities?
AI factories are the place where you all will find jobs, right? So whether today, tomorrow, artificial general intelligence, super intelligence will keep coming, who will first of all manufacture the humanoids? Who will run the data center, right? So who will run and then who will sell the humanoids? Humanoids have been priced at $20,000, which is almost equivalent to a car, a mid-sized sedan car, right? You need people to sell the humanoids. If you sell, households cannot know how to use it. Who will train them? So, World Economic Forum says 92 million jobs will get lost, right? 170 million jobs will get generated at the same time. So while the job losses will continue to happen, simultaneously new job creation also happens. So however, you have to skill up for the new jobs. And 30 years before we all did that, you are all going to do the same thing, right? So all these AI investments and all that stuff will change the way of working back to the same thing, right? So the fundamentals in the world has remained the same and it will continue to remain the same. Debit and credit will not change, right? In business that cannot change, right? How you do the debit and credit in paper form, and then you just punch it into the Tally and Excel and all those software tools. Tomorrow you will just show the voucher, a bill. That's all. Your cloud cowork will do it automatically. So the way changes, but the fundamentals will continue to remain the same. And but yes, 90 million will lose, and they all will scale up to doing a new level of jobs. Is that follow on? Okay, do anything that works. Doesn't matter. What's working?
so this is the great observation. Because of that, every one of us should apply AI to
One more question.
Out of curiosity, thank you for allowing me to ask more questions, which may be beneficial for the next
what all things that
generation.
AI can do and what can it do. It turns out that as we speak, AI has no possibility of doing all of what we do. However, depending on the job that we do, sometimes it could do 20% of our jobs, 20% of our work, 1,000 times better. For some people, it might be able to do 50% of their job, 1,000 times better. But with no job, can they do all of it? So this is the great observation. Because of that, every one of us should apply AI to automate, to
Please hold on for a minute. Next
help
important
us
question.
20%, 40%.
Wherever we go, AI is a buzzword.
People ask me,
Business models are changing
AI
the
doesn't
role.
take your job. And I tell
Business
them,
models are taking the highest ticket in the industry. I am very sure that you are connected with many business schools. The latest report says anthropic AI is a major challenge, which is going to solve many of the job roles, irrespective of the functional area, be it finance, marketing, or HR. There is a case. Do you think with the content available for typical business school, with respect to various curriculum, they are studying like some of the courses in finance, some in HR, some in marketing, to what extent they can justify for this fast changing dynamic environment, particularly to address issues with reference to A1 and the other, writing the future vision, strategies, etc. On the one side, please suggest which should be the optimum academic input which the students are to take to do the different roles like EA orchestrator or EA ethics manager, etc. More precisely, with the content whatever they are learning now, can be managed effectively.
Thank you very much. Don't play that and answer this. Sir has asked a very critical question in terms of how responsibly you will use AI and how can it help you in the job market. Right? So next few minutes is my frame. I'm going to share something called human to machine communication. Whether Claude or Grok or Gemini or whatever, there is something called you have to know how to communicate with machine, right? So that is fundamental, and that we thought it was easy. It's just a question of asking a question because we all know Google search, right? Our legacy is Google search. So we all started using ChatGPT like Google search, right? And that's where we are all making a huge mistake. And I will very effectively share how easy it is, but it requires some communication frameworks because we are talking communication. All of you are studying your first year MBA with communication semester. You all have finished your written oral communication course,
Yes.
right? The first semester, right?
Yes.
So some of those what we have learned will be appearing. I will show you so that you use that what you learned in the way you will communicate with machines. And it is as simple as that. Provided you all have learned it properly. But don't worry, I'll make it easier also now.
What is one thing which AI can't copy from humans? Which I would like to know that what kind of a thing would it be that humans can do with AI? Yeah, actually, it's an excellent question. question, and in fact, this is probably the single most vital question for now, okay, which is, what are all the things that AI can do? What can it do? It turns out that as we speak, AI has no possibility of doing all of what we do. However, depending on the jobs that we do, sometimes it could do 20% of our jobs, 20% of our work, 1,000 times better. For some people, it might be able to do 50% of their job, 1,000 times better. But in no job can they do all of it. And so this is the great observation. Because of that, every one of us should apply AI to automate, to become an assistant to help us with that either 20%, 40%, or 50%. People ask me, Jensen, is AI going to take your job? And I tell them, absolutely not. The person who uses AI to automate that 20% or 50% is going to take your job.
So, you have understood that in the work field area, everybody, if you think today your father, mother, brother, whosoever, everybody's job, 20, 30, 40% of what they are doing, computers can do 1,000 times faster. Right? So if you ask me, in very large organizations like Coke or other organizations, when people take 30 hours to do analytics, data analytics, it can be done in 1 hour. What it takes 30 hours, we can do it, and I have done it in 1 hour time frame using the same ChatGPT and produce a result that is 20 times, 50 times far higher quality than humans using for 30 hours time frame. This is the power of usage of GenAI, right? So that's what Jensen, remember this person, NVIDIA's CEO. Now I will also give you some more tips. You must all follow Sundar Pichai. Anybody who doesn't know Sundar Pichai, listen to his YouTubes and Insta, all of it, right? Jensen is the NVIDIA chief, CEO, right? These are all your invisible teachers. The visible teachers are here. You all should have an invisible teacher. People who are all in communications must have our External Affairs Minister Jaishankar as your teacher. I say this everywhere. I'm not a BJP, no politician, but he is a phenomenal English teacher. You must observe the way he answers the question, right? So all these people now, the latest of my guru is Claude's chief. He is, what am I? Who is Claude's chief? Dario Amodai, right? So he is my new guru from whom I learned where the technology is taking us. All of you are using social media, but you have to be responsible in using social media. Use these people as your external teachers continuously, right? And therefore, Jensen is a very important teacher for me. So we are in a world where one person can do 10 people's job 10 times faster at 1/10 of the cost. This is the reality, right? Even if it is 5, then also it is a huge number for us to look at. You are all entering into a job market where you should be able to do, they expect you to do 5 people's job 5 times faster. Without Gen AI, it is not going to be possible, right? So it will help you deliver at a high speed, high quality, high efficiency, and the capability. If I said this 10 years before, high speed, high quality, low cost. Somebody will offer me a cup of soda chai, tea. So please wake up, sir, you are daydreaming. Correct? High speed, high quality, low cost is daydreaming, correct? Today it is possible, right? With the help of Gen AI, right? Now, still some of you think that, oh, it is so much of hype around AI and something is confusing and all that. Lot of people talk about AI bubble, And why we are all having this inertia to learn Gen AI? Because we don't have a reason to believe. Human beings needs a reason to believe, then you will change. If there is no reason to believe, you are not going to change. Not only you, me, everybody, right? We all need a reason to believe. RTB is my definition for algorithm, abbreviation for reason to believe. Now I'm going to give you next 5 minutes, 10 minutes time frame. All the reason why you cannot be, I'm going to make you all uncomfortable. Why you can't be comfortable and be the same that you are all these days, right? Now I will tell you. 2 years, 2 years before, more than 2 years before, Tamil Nadu, worldly, Tamil Nadu has been the first state where Microsoft and Tamil Nadu Education Ministry have combined and they are already teaching AI, Gen AI knowledge to rural school children, class 6 onwards. You guys can't be comfortable, right? Your young kids are native Gen AI. If this is like, children are born with smartphones today, right? You were not born with smartphones, right? As a child. Children know how to operate smartphones, right? So they are all already learning Gen AI. In 2, 3, 4 years time frame, they will all be super experts in these tools. Now, you people are threat to people in the corporate world today. They are all with 15 years experience, 20 years experience. When you people go with the Gen AI knowledge, right, you are going to be a threat to them, provided you equip yourself with Gen AI knowledge. Unfortunately, this batch of this 5 years time frame, you are in a cusp, you are in a transition, right? Neither there nor here, right? You will all undergo that tough time. Who is there to tell us? Nobody. But you are all going to tell those youngsters, right, after 4 or 5 years time frame. Imagine somebody joining an engineering college, your own brother, sister, right? You ask them, why are they joining an engineering college? For which job? After 4 years time frame, which job is going to stay? We don't know, right? So they are all going to, this like, put them into a room, no lights, they are figuring out where is the switch, where is the fan. They all will do that job, and the students who are in the class 6 and 7 and so on, they will all understand. So the world is undergoing this transition. For you people, responsibility is very high. You are neither here nor there. You have pressure from both sides. Therefore, you have to really understand and use Gen AI, extra reading, extra whichever way, and equip yourself with Gen AI skills. So that is rural school children. High level of knowledge is commoditized to the, we didn't even say urban children, not Mumbai, not Chennai, right? All your Nagarcoil and all the tier 2, tier 3 cities, all of them are already 2 years they have been learning AI and Gen AI knowledge. In Singapore, the minister has said to all the residents, please learn, and government will subsidize your upskilling. For people who are in the mid-30s and mid-40s, they are saying that the new fresh college graduates who are coming out, they are all with Gen AI knowledge, right? And therefore, people who are already working with 10, 15 years experience is going to face a threat, right? That is about Singapore. In Hong Kong, there is a company, it is a listed company. All of you understand what a listed company is. It's not an ordinary company, it's not a shop. The CEO is a bot. For last 2 years time frame, financials is being submitted by this AI bot. So people are reporting to an AI CEO, right? And then in the legal space, there's a lot of diffusion happening in the legal space in terms of their use of Gen AI, ChatGPT, and all that stuff, right? So earlier, people, the lawyers needed enormous amount of knowledge and access. They should know which case, what decision, verdict was given. It should be there in their mind. Today, not necessary, right? They just have to access it from ChatGPT, right? That is in legal space. Whether it is Patiala again, it is already gone and seeped into the rural areas. So that is Dubai, this is Patiala, this is the same thing in Dubai. So if you think, oh, I will go to our foreign countries and learn, they are also the same thing. They are also the class 5, class 6 students are also learning Gen AI as a part of their natural curriculum, right? So that is about Dubai, that's being done there. It is in Saudi Arabia, it is in USA, all over. If the rate of change outside is far more than rate of change inside here within you, the end is near, Jack Welch. All of you know that, right? So this is a very powerful thing for all of us to understand, that we need to cope up and be with the technological change. You have no choice at all, right? That's how the rate of change happens. Now, I'll give you one more shock. We all think that if we are knowledgeable, HR will hire us, companies will hire us, correct? All people think, right? Knowledgeable, you will get jobs, right? Not anymore. Adum bocha, right? Right? So because there's an end of knowledge monopoly, and I have to give you reason to believe whatever I'm saying, right? Don't believe anything what I say, right? Now imagine somebody who knew how to navigate the sea, the map, right, was considered to be very knowledgeable. Because he's the one who's going to show the direction. Otherwise, ship will go somewhere else, right? Until GPS came. Now, how many of you keep asking directions? No one. Right? We switch on the GPS and we reach. Once in a way, it takes you to some useless places, right? But that is still once in a way. I'm sure all of us still believe GPS is correct, right? Right? We will have some other people will say, no, what I say is correct. We will tell them, no, GPS is correct. Follow the GPS, right? So end of story, that particular knowledge. So today in corporate world, if you think that you are good at ideas, you are a fantastic brainstorming person, and you can bring in innovation, then it is end of story. Gen AI will do all of this. Right? So being knowledgeable is not a trump card for a job. This is new syllabus. No choice. Right? Because you were born in that particular year, so you are not in the college now, right? So knowledge is now commoditized. So let's listen into this. So what is the solution for that, right? Again, all my clips are just 1 minute and less than 1 minute is time frame. So you can pay attention to this. Audio output one.
For example, if I were a student today, the first thing I would do is to learn how do I learn to interact with ChatGPT? How do I learn to interact with Gemini Pro? How do I learn to interact with Grok? And learning how to interact with AI is not unlike being someone who's really good at asking questions. You're incredibly good at asking questions, and prompting AI is very, very similar. You can't just randomly ask a bunch of questions. And so asking AI to be an assistant to you requires some expertise in artistry and how to prompt it. And so if I were a student today, irrespective of whether it's for math or for science or chemistry or biology, it doesn't matter what field of science I'm going to go into or what profession I am, I'm going to ask myself, how can I use AI to do my job better?
Simple. It is the power of asking questions. That is all. You must know how to ask a question. I thought it was easy, but you will then understand it's not that easy. It requires some little bit of extra energy or things that has to be understood for asking the questions. So I'll make that also easier for you, right? So the ability to ask questions is important. Now, since you would not have heard about artificial general intelligence, artificial super intelligence, ignorance is not your reason anymore, right? So we need to learn these things also, because these are all technologies that are coming one after another. Then you will ask me when it will come, right? I will answer this in 2 minutes of time, right? So when I learned this highway of technology, Gen AI, AGI, ASI, artificial superintelligence. I was very happy 3 years ago. It said Gen AI will understand, will know everything, but will not understand anything. I said, okay, thank God I'm there to understand and then explain things and so on. Then they said AGI is the next technology. I said, what will AGI do? It says it can reason out, make judgments, and solve problems. I thought that is what we are all there for, right? You take up a job for doing these things. Correct? Yes or no? Right? But that is going to be done by AGI. Today itself, your ChatGPT can do significantly all these things, judgment and problem solving and all that. So then, you are left with the next technology which will surpass human capabilities, including the wisdom part. All these things are going to happen in your lifetimes in the next 3 to 5 years time frame. How critical this phase in your life is, right? So then I was wondering, what do we do by which year, 2028, 2029? If we all think 5 years, 5 years back, too much of time. Just to turn back and remember the first day of lockdown, as if it happened the day before yesterday. Remember? First day of lockdown, 5 years, 6 years passed. 5, 6 years is very short. Understand? So next 5 to 6 years is time frame. You turn the head this side, 5, 6 years is gone. All these technologies are living right in front of you. That is the time frame we are living now. So your next question, mind-wise, Vivek or Mukti, I can understand, right? What will happen to my job when AGI comes? ASM. Next question, right? I skipped that video. Satya Nadella says that we have continuously been from one technology to another technology. We have adapted to the newer technology. Now, one more technology will come. After that, another artificial superintelligence will come. Why are we worried about this technology keeps changing when we already have shown the ability? Smartphone is a great technology, right? And we all have adapted to that. Right? Is it not? So we have to continuously keep adapting to the next and the next technology. And thereby, and every technology is there to elevate us. Right? So that's the answer that he gave, but I'm speaking to that. But I found a very important answer. If artificial superintelligence comes, most of the jobs are going to be done by humanoids. You know humanoid? Right? Chitti. How many of you have seen Robo movie, Rajnikant? Not really evil figure. In the course of this presentation, yeah, he's also there. Right? So when humanoids are going to be there, what is the job that we are going to do? I have already identified several jobs. You may not be able to see it from there. Intrinsic human qualities, especially biological, social, and emotional. These are only human beings can do, irrespective of any amount of technology that will come up. Now, somebody can say humanoids also will show emotions. Right? It will show, it cannot be the emotion. That will be the difference that will ever live in the world. Therefore, once and for all, don't ever be worried about technology replacing human beings. Technology will replace the way you are doing a particular job, provided you learn and move next. So if anybody asks you a question in your private circles or home or anywhere, this must be your answer. Right? Technology will not replace human being, it will replace the way human beings are performing certain jobs. It is all up to us to move to the next, as and when technology. I will keep moving to the next. I will keep moving to the next. One of my books, if you have seen, I said, what is your and? Unfortunately, I could not bring it here. What is your and means constantly this question should be with you. If I have been doing this, what is my next? I have to know which skill. What is my next? After 2 years, what is my next? Continually, it is constant in your lifetime. Gone are those years when our parents were joining a life insurance or railways and they stayed there and retired there with the same skill that they joined, right? Gone are those days. We have to continuously, that is why curiosity came in. That is why continuous learning, I said, right? Curiosity, stay curious, keep learning, and this, what is your and must be your constant pursuit, right? These are all people, when you ask me when, all of them in last 2-3 months they said, when artificial general intelligence, somebody says, not somebody, yeah, Sam Altman, right? Remember, see who is saying it, very important, right? 2028, somebody DeepMind CEO says 5 to 8 years is time frame. And Elon Musk says 2029, 20, and Ray Kurzweil is a futurist. They all have told 2030, 2029, 2028. So range 2028. By the time you are finishing your college, your MBA in 2027. Direct, you are all going to jump there only. You have 2 years as time frame to correct yourself. Right? These 2 years are precious years. Besides your grades and marks, right? Besides your grades and marks, these 2 years are very precious here in terms of understanding how the world is moving and where are you landing. That is most important, right? It's like, sir, very much. I told you I'm going to make you uncomfortable, right? But at the end of the story, I have other parts also. I told you I'll make you comfortable by the end only, right? See, we are all going to live in a world. I call ChatGPT is my co-thinker. Right? Anything that I'm thinking, I'm not thinking alone anymore. I'm thinking with the ChatGPT. It is my co-thinker. Each one of you can pursue this art of co-thinking. But you must co-think, not outsource your thinking to ChatGPT. Did you all hear me properly? If you outsource your thinking to ChatGPT, end of story. Right? If you start practicing co-thinking, just saying, I know this much, can you add to what I know? That's all. Right? That will make you, it will take you 5x, 10x, 20x. Your capability. Right? So we are all going to, no choice, co-think. And in 2028, 2029, when you are going to have humanoid, you are going to coexist. Elon Musk says he is preparing factories to produce one humanoid per human being. He says that's normal plan. That he is planning for 2 humanoids for every human on earth. Maybe one you will do, use it for internal work, and one you will go to the bank and all other places. I don't know how that world is going to be. Just 5 years is time. And the cost is just as a normal car. When you have bought your first car, second car is slowly, second car will be by the humanoid. This is going to be the life, right? So that's the world we are moving. So ability to co-think with the machines is the single largest skill that all of you will have to pursue and make it your own. Ability to co-think with the machine. And for that, I will tell you how to do that also. I will skip this for a moment. Okay, now little serious thing, what you would not have heard so far. And all of you must have heard one thing. This is, I'm now helping you to unlearn some of the wrong inputs that you have been fed. First one is prompt engineering. How many of you heard of prompt engineering? I can't see this, right? Prompt engineering? Heard of it? Prompt engineering here? No? Prompt engineering? Heard, right? So, if you learn prompt engineering, you will get the biggest jobs in US and all that stuff. Whenever you hear next time, remember me. I am an anti-prompt engineering person. I say there is nothing called a prompt engineer. Throw it out of the window. Why? There is no engineering in that. All of you are prompting, right? ChatGPT, everybody. What engineering was there in your prompting? Civil, mechanical, electrical, nothing. You are just asking. So the world confused. The West is very notorious in jargonizing things and making life difficult. And my job was to kill the jargon. And I started demolishing such jargons. And that is why I said there is nothing called engineering in it because I don't see engineering. When we are talking about brainstorming, ideating, innovation and all that, there are no rules. Engineering is rule-based, right? This is thinking-based. Augmentation is thinking-based, not rule-based, correct? So you are limited only by your imagination of thinking. There is no engineering. So next time when anybody says prompt engineering, laugh at them. Internally, don't make fun of them, right? So what I say, my job is to fight this jargon inflation from the West. And I come with I also do something, but I do jargon demolition. But I'm doing it with a high sense of responsibility because I immediately bring capability, a skill of rebuilding. When you destroy, you also have to do the reconstruction, right? So that is my job. I destroy that, and then I bring a commitment to building responsible structure post my demolition. So all I did is to demolish prompt engineering. Now all of you pay your attention. I'm going to also help you build a beautiful mansion structure on top of it, right? So all of you have learned this bad prompt, good prompt. All of you go to which prompt is good prompt. Have you gone to your friends and asked, is my prompt good prompt? Have you done this? What is your prompt? What answer you are getting? Nothing called bad prompt and good prompt. Right? Good prompt sometimes it works, but I have one thing. There's something called lazy prompt. In my opinion, there's something called what? There's something called lazy prompt. Right? Lazy prompt is nothing but, which most of us follow, we just ask a question and ask the answer. Correct? One line, two lines, not more than 2, 3 lines are your prompts, correct? And then give me the answer. That is called a lazy prompt. So we will all kill that practice and we are all happy, right? So there's something called this, all of your social media will get this, right? 20 best prompts of HR, 20 financial prompts. I said kill all of them. Because why will you want to borrow somebody else's prompt? Right? So, and if they are creating that prompt for themselves, for that reason, for that context, on that day. Everything is different for you. Right? So therefore, don't follow any of such prompts at all. What to do? Right? I'm going to give you a top secret. But before that, I'm going to ask you, all of you, keep your hands ready. How many of you type your prompt and how many of you talk to ChatGPT? How many of you talk to ChatGPT? Talk? Talk? Fully, right? Or partially? Fully or partially? Partially, okay. This is the biggest transformation secret that I share with everybody. Stop typing prompts. All of you listen to the last bench. Stop typing prompts. No more typing. Talk. This will be your biggest transformation. Why? Because tomorrow, when humanoids are going to coexist with you, are you going to get close to humanoid at that time? You are going to talk. Right? World is moving towards voice. Right? And that is the single largest secret. Why? Because when I learned about LLM, large language model strategy, which nobody told me, they all told prompt engineering. Okay, I will try for a few minutes this time frame till just the weekends. So, ChatGPT, Grok, Gemini, all of them, they told me that it is all applications of NLP. Watch here. It is NLP. NLP na Natural language, thank God, yeah. Because we were all confused with neuro-linguistic programming, all of us, right? Then when they said it's a neuro-linguistic program, I ran away. That is for psychology people and HR people, not for me. Then after a few days, I understood, no, that NLP is something different. This is natural. Then I just said, natural language means, natural language, like I talk to sir, I talk to madam, you talk to your friends. Do you see grammar when you talk to your friends? Spelling mistake? Nothing, right? You would be talking and then say, you know what? I forgot. Actually, these are all our common language, right? Talk the same way to chat. Clear? Because technology people told me that I am an application of NLP, natural language. Then I will follow natural language, number one reason. Number two reason, I will tell you why you have to talk. Especially people who are grouping a bit. Sleeping. Second reason is very important. Your human brain processing power, the closest to that is your talking. If somebody says, I can type the world's fastest typing, 200 words per minute, how long? Do you think that your brain can process 200 words per minute? No. It's far, 1,000, 10,000 times. So which means if you are going to slow down your thinking to the extent of typing, end of story. The way the thinking happens, you have to talk. That will take you a huge miles ahead in terms of using all these natural language, the large language models. So remember, no more typing of prompts, just talk. Don't worry about Sundar Pichai. Google has done a wonderful job. Anything that you talk will get typed. Right? Without an error. And don't worry about spelling mistakes, because there is no engineering to that. Right? So you can talk as like a secret also. It is like, if I will say to him, to this extent, you try this today, right? It will take your voice. So henceforth, if you have to be much more focused on your thinking ability, you will stop typing the prompts. Is that clear, all of you? Right? So I say only talk, no more typing of prompts. Now next, ChatGPT hallucinates. Do you know what hallucination is? That's your biggest problem, right? It gives some information which is not correct. Right? Then somebody catches you on that. Right? ChatGPT hallucinates. Well, human beings also hallucinate. Don't blame only ChatGPT, right? All of us have somebody in our friend circle, right? That fellow, no, Peter, don't believe all what he says. Half the thing he just gives some numbers, right? We all are on classmate also. He will give any number. You don't know how to verify that number, right? So we all have our own in our own circle. Human beings hallucinate. They also will hallucinate. But where is how do I deal with that hallucination? Very simple. Thumb rule. If it is data and facts, right? Validate that before taking it to the next person. But if you are actually brainstorming and ideating, let it hallucinate. Got it? So I have only 3 ideas. That's all I can think. Who will give me the 4th and 5th and 6th and 7th at 11:30 in the night? ChatGPT will give. Correct? Fantastic, right? So at the time of thinking, you need somebody. They are there immediately. So for ideating, exploring, hallucination is fantastic. But when it is history, numbers and all that, verify. Always, right? And I'm going to tell you, when you don't verify what happens, I will tell you in few minutes is done. So now let me move to human to machine conversation. Let me take a little bit of a speed now. We need to understand how to talk to machines. For this, there are some simple frameworks. The first framework I learned right here in this space. And that framework is called audience, message, and purpose, which you all must have learned in your written and oral communication. If you don't have clarity on the audience to whom you are communicating, and if you don't know why you are communicating, don't communicate. Right? யாருக்கு பேசுறோம், என்ன பேசுறோம், why? If you don't have, don't start the messages. So this is a golden rule of communication. Right? This was told when we were students by Professor Ramki. And this is there in my first book on one-page communicator, attributed to Professor Ramki. அன்னைக்கு பிடிச்சதுதான். I never left that. This has been one of my cornerstones of any success that I can attribute. I will first understand to whom am I talking. Why am I talking? Why should I write a letter? Why should I communicate? Then only I will start communicating. Golden rule of communication. Second one, this is something that McKinsey since 1985, they were using this paper, very, very important framework. They never told the world. And when I wrote my first book, I picked it up and then published it in my first book. May say, mutually exclusive, collectively exhaustive. Mutually exclusive means you will not confuse the other person. Right? Your 5 points, they are mutually exclusive. Sometimes always we have a problem. Second point and fourth point, both looks like the same. Right? How do you avoid that? This is a test, mutually. Collectively exhaustive means you will not have missed any point. So your communication has to be completely effective. Means it should follow this framework. So mutually exclusive will avoid confusion. Collectively exhaustive will ensure your completion of your whatever you are trying to do. Clear? Idella the PDF la varum. You will get that. So you can again go through it once again thereafter also. Very easy, very simple. Thank God, English you have only 6 questions. Who, when, where, what, why, how. You don't need me to teach that, correct? This is completeness. If you say everything and you don't tell why, your children will ask you, tell me why I should do that. Right? So this completeness is required to follow in all our communication with machine. See, if it is human to human communication, the other person will tell you. In the common household communication, right? அது கொண்டா இங்க கொண்டு இங்க இதை எடுத்து அங்க வை எதை எடுத்து எங்க வைக்கிறது. Right? So in machine also, if you communicate the same way, machine will not say anything. It will just give you process and give you some answer. Right? In English I am saying, when you say take this item and put it there, which item you will ask me, right? Which item and put where? So this is the clarity that we should have. Simple that. And this is my communication framework which I created. This is called SAGE framework. All of you are doing presentations every now and then. You will go to the job and still do presentations, right? You must first think, seize the mind. First 1 minute or so, you must seize the mind of your professor as well as you are here. In the job, your manager, whosoever, seize the mind. Why should somebody pick up your paper? Why should somebody pick up your idea? Simple, right? So if you seize the mind, next thing is articulate the idea. Whatever you want to say, don't say it. You make it easy for the other person to consume easily. If you do these 2 things, the rest will automatically happen. It will generate the thinking and it evoke the action. You are communicating for the other person to act. If you don't want any action from the other person, simple, quite no communication, right? But when you are doing something, whether it is your brother, sister, mother, father, anybody, you want an action from the other person. In corporate world, when you want action, you must do first 2 jobs properly. All these things can be integrated into the way you communicate with the machine, right? With ChatGPT. I have a magic formula for communicating with ChatGPT. And that formula, like this, you have umpteen formulas in your social media, right? So persona, audience, context, task, output format, tone of the output. These are all the 6 things. When you are prompting, you must say or make sure that you have completed or exhausted all these things. Right? You must tell persona means you must tell computer who you want it to be. You are writing something on environment, you want it to be an environment specialist. You are doing a finance article or something, you want it to be a finance CA, whatever, so on, right? That is persona. To whom are you communicating? Maybe it is your assignment here or maybe it is somewhere else outside. Those are all simple questions to answer. Then you must tell the output format. You want it in Word format, Excel format, PPT, all the things you can say, right? And it will come to very important. Right? And tone of the output, also you should tell. You are writing it to the Vice Chancellor, the tone is different. When you are writing to somebody else, the tone is different, right? So all these things are nice. There is one devil in this. And that is where, remember the lazy prompt, right? That's the devil here, sitting here, the context. We must explain the context very well to the machine. Otherwise, machine does not understand. Machine does not understand where it is paining for you, how long it is paining for you, why it is paining for you, all those things it will not understand. If you just say it is paining here, say why? How many? This is how many? Why is it paining? Only in the morning, evening? You must tell all these things, right? Context should be very important. Now, how do I make you all remember this context? Apologies to the international students. This is one famous comedy in Tamil. So all of them will understand, but somebody explain it. So I thought how to, before that, yeah, I'll show you. The audio. How many of you know this? Audio communicating. Everybody is playing the audio with his headsets, right? Our prompt is like that. Annalagoru is our prompt. Right? We must remember this. We must explain the entire process. What is it, the context of that, right? You must say, now, if I ask you to type all these things, I don't have patience to type. That is why I said first, talk. Right? When you talk, you are going to talk only for 30, 40, 50 seconds. This comedy itself is 1 minute and less than a minute's time frame, right? Now you understand this one thing? Why you have to talk? And when you talk, Uttapam. Remember that you are transformed. The way you are using ChatGPT forever. Right? You have to explain to us later on, right? And all to other people also, right? So, all what I was saying, all the frameworks and everything, is all summed up here. And I say this natural prompting framework equal to Uttapam. Right? Then your output that ChatGPT will give you will be phenomenal. Because you have done everything in the box. Right? Will generative AI take away my creativity, originality? This is one big question. And my answer will be that as long as somebody is saying no, 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 as long as you do the brainstorming within yourself, you do the ideating. This is the big framework that I have. Brainstorming, ideating must be yours. Let it only generate. Right? You must have these two things. 925 plus 1246. Can anybody give me the answer? 925 plus 1246. Don't worry. Until now, I stood in front of 6,000 people. Nobody bothered to give me an answer. Because mind told you immediately, calculator's job, not my job. Correct? So leave the generation alone to the machine. But brainstorming and ideation must be yours always. Right? Don't go to ChatGPT without doing these two things by yourself. I also brought a very powerful framework whenever you are using ChatGPT. Responsibility is you must be the thinker at the beginning, right? Brainstorming, ideating, everything. You must be thinker at the beginning. I gave you natural prompting framework for that, right? All those things, A and B, they say all of it. You must be thinker at the beginning and you must be sense maker at the end. And I will also tell you when you don't do sense making, what comedies happens also are written. Right? And put the machine in the middle. Your ChatGPT is in the middle. Thinker at the beginning, ChatGPT generates, don't take it and go and give it to him. Do the sense making and then give it to him. That is absolutely responsible and ethical way of using ChatGPT. Right? ChatGPT means Gemini, Grok, all of them, right? I'm using only one word for that. So that is the most important golden rule. That is how I brought this entire guardrail and responsibility in using these Gen AI tools. Right? So that is your guardrail. You will not go wrong at all if you use this as a framework. Then you will ask me what is sense making. Sense making. What is sense making? Right? I will answer that also. If you ask me what is sense making, I will tell you very easily. I am giving one more framework called a clear framework. If you want me to make it easier, be honest. One word if I have to tell you, sense making is nothing but be honest. Now see the framework what I have given. First one says, did you understand the output from ChatGPT? If you did not understand, don't give it to somebody else. Correct? Honesty is simple. No one needs to tell you why you should be honest, right? You want to take a course on how to be truthful? No need, right? Honesty, there is no graduation course also, right? So, did you understand is your first question. Second question is, do you believe? Simple. If you don't believe the source or the information, don't give it to the second person. Simple, honesty. Third one says, does it fit with already what I do and I care? If I talk about Gen AI today, people will understand. If I talk about ESG, environment, social and governance, partly people will understand because I just started talking about it. In 3 years' time frame, when I stand and talk about ESG, world will sit and listen to me because I am preparing for that. As they introduced me, I am doing a doctorate in ESG. Therefore, you must talk. I can't talk about nuclear physics. Right? Obviously, right? Therefore, that is another important thing. Does it fit with what I already know? Is there a clear? If I have to give something, you have to also ask the question, so what? Now what? Is it answering that question? Yes or no? Because we are responsible, right? And finally, another question is says, what can go wrong? This is a very important question that you should ask ChatGPT. I can take your answer, but tell me, sir will hit me or not? I do this every time. So to whosoever is my audience, I will ask ChatGPT what kind of pushback he will give me. Where you know your professors, your teachers, and your whosoever, your managers and so on, right? Beforehand itself ask this. Will if I take this, will I get right? So ask that question, automatically you are more responsible and ethical in your usage. Sense making is a superpower. We'll see with it. When you don't sense make, look at this comedy that happens. Now this is a published news in Dubai. Leave alone the I don't agree with that 97%, right? So I tell in my country, I tell, how can they say 97%? I should see AI here, I should see AI here. It is not so. So it is a wrong demonstration of it or the interpretation of it. But more, that is okay. But look at the two of this here. The last sentence of that paragraph and first sentence of the next paragraph are the same, are identical, copy paste. We have a journalist, we have a sub-editor, we have an editor, and finally the news is coming out. This is to me an irresponsibility. Agree? Two sentences are identical, right? All word to word, 98% word to word identical, irresponsible. One more example is there. There is another newspaper, please don't do this ever. The guy published the news item. When you do your chat GPT, finally it will say, can I also do this also, that also? Published in the newspaper, right? If you want, I can also create even a more snappier front page style. Published in the newspaper, right? We can't be so irresponsible, right? That is why sense making is an extremely responsible job that you have to pursue every time, right? Another critical requirement is mindfulness. Whenever you are doing, and now I made your life easier, right? Summa basic and talk. You talk for 1.5 minutes, not more than that, 2 minutes. Can you not be mindful in those 2 minutes time frame? You must be, right? What is this mindfulness? Let me call my best friend in the world. He's best friend for all of us. Through him, I'll make you all understand what mindfulness is.
Not 30 or 40%, not 50 or 60. No, we can get them down 1,000%, 600%, 500%, 1,500%. Numbers that are not even thought to be achievable because I've used a certain talent that I have.
Yeah, I also thought it would not be achievable to lower drug prices 1,000%, because that's not how percentages work. Just so you understand, lowering drug prices 100% means it's free. Lowering it past that means they're going to give you money. Next year's Forbes billionaires list is just going to be a bunch of dudes with leukemia. On the bright side, we're actually going to be bankrupting insurance companies instead of the other way around. You know?
Guys, mindfulness is very, very important. And I'm asking that mindfulness for 1 or 2 minutes while you are talking to ChatGPT. That is all. Life can't be so easy, right? While I said so many things in the first half an hour's time frame, and you see that how life is much, much, much easier. Just that 2 minutes time frame, that is all, right? So mindfulness is extremely important. So towards the end, this has been everybody's wish, right? I'm sure there won't be even one person who says that I don't want a chitti in my life. How many of you want a chitti, personal chitti for yourself? Right? Only Aishwarya Rai should get a chitti, why not me? Right?
ఇవాళ ఒక్కరోజే ఉంది చాలా చదవాలి చదివినంత వరకు ఎంతైనా చెప్తాను ఇద్దరు చదువుకుంటే గడిచి చదివేసావా teşhis monozygotic and dizygotic twins ఏంటి చెప్పు
Monozygotic twins are identical twins. Dizygotic twins are non-identical twins.
Amazing. వీళ్ళ బట్టి పెడితే నువ్వు ఒక రోజు డాక్టర్ అవ్వచ్చు. This is our important segment of the purpose. Next is the first damage or the island damage. Then the bubble, which is not the
Anterior posterior diameter.
anterior posterior diameter, which is through the
Isn't this true? This movie came 20 years before, correct? Isn't this true today? I give for my research paper 150-page average sustainability report of 40 companies for 2 years, 80 PDF files. I give it to ChatGPT. Same like Rajnikant, each PDF file like this, right? And I did my entire research based on what I need to pick up from these PDF files with utmost responsibility in terms of validation and verification. Things can be done exactly like this, right? So this is the power. That was a movie 20 years before. This is reality today, right? You can give a PDF file and ask any question. You are getting the answer today right in your smartphone itself. Don't underestimate. It's not an auto rickshaw or a two-wheeler. It is a Ferrari car. The ChatGPT that is there in your smartphone is like a Ferrari car, right? So today, this is something that some of you may know. This is my AI garage, and I will share this. It will come to all of you. For various, for content, for thinking, for AI detection, paraphrasing, those are the tools. So this combined garage is my chitti. I will think and I will get ChatGPT to give me a PPT ready content outside. I will take that and put it in Gamma, bring the PPT, I am ready in 10 minutes is time frame to come and present. Because I did the thinking. Correct? You don't need to create your PPT in Microsoft PowerPoint. So everything is chitti is there with you if we follow all these things, right? And there are several multi-purpose tools are there. For this all, in my opinion, I'm damn sure all of you, if you know there's a tool called Napkin, you will go and then learn it by yourself, provided you have the curiosity. That is all is required. Maybe you will not know, most of them will not know which tool helps me. Right? I've made that job easier for all of you. No need to go which tool. Right? Whether the tool really does the job or not, I don't know, you don't. We all have done a continuous research for 3 years this time frame. These are the tools for those related requirements. So you can straight away take this and use it by yourself. Right? I think that's all in 1 hour time frame. I can't do much. My friends, GenAI is that very powerful weapon. Right? It all depends on how you are all going to use that. Handle it with one, curiosity, second is responsibility, and third is ethics. Don't forget these 3 things: curiosity, responsibility, and ethics. So this is all fine. Now the things are coming to you. This is our summary of what we have done, what we have seen. Thank you very much for your patience. I did not see anybody sleeping, so a special thanks to all of you.
Good afternoon, dear students. So, 2 things what I understand from all this presentation is AI is not going to replace human, but it is going to enhance. And second thing is this technology is going to help the process become faster, but leaving the judgment part in the hands of the human beings. So this technology is going to help us learn faster, increase our efficiency, and make us more curious, which is very, very important and very, which will increase our thinking process and increase our creativity which is the prime requirement of the industry. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. It was really fulfilling and it was really thought-provoking also. And at the right time, we could actually when the process started. So please take this. When me and Vani were thinking about this, sir was in Dubai. So we were planning to have it online. Because that time he was not willing to come to India. He had a lot of job there. So he said, Madam, we will come online. So we fixed the time at 10:45, looking at the time lapse between India and Dubai. And then within 1 week, the war started. And we, ma'am, what are we going to do now? But sir said, don't worry, everything is fine here. Even if there is a war, things are fine here. If there is internet connectivity, we will still get connected. But thankfully, today he is there in front of us, physically interacting with all the students. Thank you so much, sir.
So, for this session to happen, missiles had to fly there.
So we are much privileged. We are much privileged. So besides flew there and you came back to India and to have and you're having the session with your own juniors. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. And thank you, dear students. Thank you, BMA office bearers and the colloquial team. Thank you so much.